We're here with the Chamber, and as you know, we've awarded Don with the 2011 Keystone Award. So we've come just to get a little input from you about the background of Don and the business here at Stewart Realty, and some of the values and traits that you see in him and what's made him successful to where Stewart Realty is today.
I'm thrilled that you've given Don this award this year because I think he's very deserving of it. I've known Don for ever since we were in school, actually, but I've been here with Stewart Realty for 18 years. He's been wonderful to us. He's been a great mentor to a lot of agents, appraisers, kind and caring person, always the stable person in our office. We call him the silent warrior because he's such a good listener to all of us, and then when we finish and everyone has their comment, says what they need to do, then Don steps forward and puts it all together and makes things work for us. As you and I discussed a little earlier, Don has had his office in the same location here at 1707 National, I think since 1973, since he got his broker's license. That always makes all of us feel real good to know the stability of his organization, that it's had its presence on national all these years. And again, as you and I discussed a little bit ago, Don has had a community presence, been on several boards. I know he's been on the UMB Bank board, on the Southeast Kansas Mental Health board. I think he served on the Good Shepherd board. Locally, has been active at Community Christian Church. I've forgotten some of the other things that we talked about that he'd been involved with, but always in the community.
Well, I know as far as the Chamber, JR brought down to the Chamber his first dollar that he was given, which was in 1978. And I know he served 2 terms on the Chamber Board of Directors. One term I know of ending in 1996 and another in 2001. And as long as I've been going to the Chamber coffees anyways, I know that Don was almost always there. So I know that even though he is silent, he also likes to be involved in his community. He
does, and I know he sees the importance of the Chamber in making the progress of Fort Scott. So I know that he appreciated them and tried to be active in the things that they were doing.
What about his sales associates such as you, and how did he help you mentor and help get you where you are today as well?
Don is a great encourager to everyone. If you even think that you have an interest in real estate, he's always happy to bring you in, talk to you about what realistic expectations are. I know that everyone thinks being a realtor is almost like vacation. He'll let you know that it's not, that that there are other things there, but he has always been so good about helping you walk through all of those firsts and even the seconds and the thirds, and as well as being a real estate broker. Don, of course, has been an active appraiser for many years, and appraisers have to have supervised hours when they begin their career, and Don has had any number of young appraisers come in. He's been willing to sit with them, do all their supervised hours, and help them to get established in successful appraisal businesses. So I know that Don cares about other people, and it was never the money involved. It was helping others feel good about themselves, and to help them understand that they could be successful. So he certainly has done that for me. He's been more ever than just a broker or a boss. He's been a friend, and that's Stewart Realty is kind of a friend, family-oriented group, and Don's been our leader in that.
Well, thank you for your comments about Don and Stewart Realty, and we couldn't think of a more deserving person this year to receive the Chamber's Keystone Award, and we thank you.
Well, I thank you too, and like I say, I think you've made an excellent selection.
Hi, JR. The Chamber's here to honor your father today with the 2011 Keystone Award, and just wanting you to tell us a little bit about where your dad grew up, maybe a little bit about your family life and some of your highlights and your memories growing up with your dad, and any aspects about the business that you'd like to talk about. We are here in Don's office, so I'll kind of let you start by telling about how he grew up.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. I grew up on a dairy farm with my father, and we moved from the dairy farm when I was about 7 years old. On the dairy farm, I watched my father work from daylight to dusk, and even after dusk on most nights. He milked 50 head of Holstein cows and had approximately 30 to 40 stock cows plus row crop, a couple hundred acres. He worked all the time. My father would constantly tell me how that I should keep busy and get up early in the mornings, and my father had a very hard drive in him pretty much all of my life. And even on vacations, my father would be conducting business on the cell phones or on the telephone at the hotel as I was growing up. My father was while we were living on the dairy farm, my father was in a bad car wreck that disabled him for 2 to 3 months. And about the same time as the car wreck, our farm suffered a tornado in Zini, and the tornado took out all the windows in the house. It took our barn down and flattened the fences, and so at that point in my father's life, he wanted something different than farming, and so he started real estate in Fort Scott. He worked for another real estate company for 2 years, and then he got his broker's license and started his own business. He was first located in the Galvin's drugstore building downtown, and from there, approximately 10 years later, he moved to the 1707 South National location as his office. As his sales staff grew, he needed a larger building.
And have you talked to your dad and told him about the Keystone Award? And we sure wish that he could have been with us tonight.
I've talked to him about that, and he's very, very proud of that. He wishes that he could attend. My father has always been pro-chamber. He goes to all of the coffees. He's constantly wanting to help Fort Scott obtain jobs. Whenever he talks about the chamber, he always also mentions about getting businesses to come to Fort Scott. Well, I see my father every evening around 5 o'clock. That's when I take his mail to him, and I spend dinner time at home. And ever since the Keystone Award was mentioned to him, he brings it up every evening, saying that I hope I feel well enough tomorrow to do a short clip. And his condition just hasn't given him that break that he needs to do so.
Well, we sure appreciate his effort in growing Fort Scott, and we thank your dad and the service of Stewart Realty and all that they do for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.